All right. So today's a double whammy for me. My daughter she's born on Valentine's Day. She just turned 24 today. So Valentine's Day is an extra special day because like my first love is born on this day. 24 years ago. I just left her at the restaurant.
Please leave.
Hey, just gotta mute that guy out. Hold on. I'll mute everybody out. Let me see. Mute participants. And then that's what we're gonna do. Allow, not allow. All right, then we're gonna mute all. And then we are good to go. Hey everyone, welcome to the call. Peter, PJ, Jensen, happy Valentine's Day to all of you. If you don't have one, I will fill in. I will gracefully fill in, respectively fill in for anyone that needs a Valentine, no matter what the situation. And certainly appreciate you taking time to be on the call tonight. Well, obviously this is our investor only call for Myresclub, and we try not to cross over with business on Myresclub, but you can't help but talk about what's going on March 4th in Orlando, because it's a part of the huge investment opportunity that we have here at Myresclub. Alfie Best, our billionaire capital partner, is going to be there on hand, flying in from the United Kingdom for the special event. It is a sold out event. We already sold it out. We opened it up for an extra 100 people. That's just about sold out. So we're looking at about 400 to 450 people that will be at this meeting collectively. And I just want to say thank you for all the people that have registered. Thank you for the people that have made plans for coming from all over the country. I know Big Gulp, you're flying in from California. People are coming in from the United Kingdom. I mean, it's a big deal. And I just want to say thanks so much for making us a priority, making this event a priority, because it's going to be phenomenal. There's going to be so much talked about. I'm going to be actually hosting an investor workshop in the morning session, and then Craig Williamson, our founder and CEO, will be coming on and addressing the future of the company, talking about the number 8 and what that means to you and what that means to us. I was on a call with today for 45 minutes, and it's mind blowing to think what we have, and it's just really amazing. And today, what I learned even more about it and how it operates, and the control of our destiny. When I say control, ours on this phone call, on the Zoom boxes, what's happening with this company is just absolutely stratosophic. I don't even know if it's a word. I think it's made it up. It's out of this world. So as I was thinking today about why wouldn't someone invest into Myresclub besides not having the money? Okay, so that's the number one reason why people wouldn't. You would think that the only reason I'm not going to invest into Myresclub is because I don't have the money. Well, that's not the only reason. And so I started thinking about, well, there must be some people that are just afraid, that have been burnt, that are upset, that are angry, that just don't have a belief level in what's going on. Because, I will tell you this, and I've said it many times, that when you look at this opportunity or hear about it for the first time, it certainly falls under the category of this is and sounds too good to be true, right? Because it has all the elements of success. We say all the right things. It has all the buzzwords. It has never been done before. You're in the right place at the right time. Up to 18%, high as 18% return on your money. And when you hear that, you go, wow, this sounds too good to be true. And you're right. And it does sound too good to be true. But for the people that have invested so far to date, I mean, since we've been doing this, and you got to remember, there's a 4.5-year track record of people that have been investing into Myresclub before Myresclub came along, and we brought this incredible sales force to the team, right? And so, but our sales force that we started in July, the first round of investors already received our first dividend check back in December. Then the new round of investors, plus the senior investors, I'll call them, or seasoned, I should say, we get our second dividend check payments in March, in less than 45 days. And so, I started thinking about the people that are afraid. And so I started thinking about, well, why would you be afraid? Well, the number one reason why someone is afraid of something, or someone is fearful of something, is because normally they don't understand it. Right. And so when people don't understand it, they freeze, they create a boundary, they create a wall of resistance to the idea. And I think once you fully understand how your investment is protected, then you take away that fear. I know certainly Big Gulp Joe Gershniak, he did that. Him and his wife Denise, they did the due diligence on Craig and on how the capital stack worked and all that. I look at Cindy Timmons, who, by the way, just became an owner in El Castillo. She's one of the group of 10 that put $10,000 into Fred Prather, the chief, his super PAC of investors. So there's 4 more spots left in that round. I look at Peter Duke from Belfast, who did his due diligence. I look at Michael Decker, who did his due diligence. I look at Adina Hodge, who invested in Myresclub shares and also IAB. I look at Valerie Whitlock. I mean, I'm looking at the names on my Zoom box here, and I'm seeing people that did the due diligence, that went the extra mile to say, okay, this looks really good. It sounds too good to be true. I'm looking at Lizette Rodriguez Ruiz, who put in a substantial amount of money into Pacifico at 18%, won a trip to Disney that she's taking their kids in June or July, I believe. And so, yeah, so I wanted to talk about why you should not be afraid. And I want you to understand that this is how I was taught by Craig when I first met Craig. I see the general's on the line. By the way, we'll be releasing some information tonight. She's hosting a call at 6 a.m. tomorrow. That information will go out accordingly. And so it's all about waking up to IAB. IAB Communities is the hottest thing in Myresclub right now, obviously with the commitment of $2 million to the fund. Go check it out. That fund is growing and growing. A lot of investors came in today. Just an amazing opportunity. So, but when I think about the people who are afraid, the people that have the money, the people that are sitting on 401ks, that are sitting on IRA money, that have mattress money, and you're afraid, and I want you to be afraid, but I want you to hear why you should be afraid. And the reason why you should be afraid right now, after this call, you won't be afraid anymore, is because when I met Craig for the first time, he told me, he said, I want people to be skeptical. I want people to be apprehensive about investing with us. And I was like, why? He goes, because that means they'll do the due diligence on us. And I sat back. It was at P.F. Chang's over in Palm Beach Gardens in Florida. And I said, what do you mean by that? He goes, I want people to do the due diligence on our company. I want them to see that we're SEC registered. I want us to see that we're Reg A, B, C, and D. I want us to see that we've got the I's dotted and the T's crossed, that in fact, the investment is backed by Alpha Invest, our billionaire capital partner, that the capital stack that we're using is not something that we've made up. It's something that we improved on and took the hedge fund money or the mezzanine lending or the gap funding away from those predatory lenders where they're charging us 22%. He just switched the model where we'll raise it through our network and then pay out a smaller amount and take that away from those lenders. And so I asked Craig to send me the top 4 reasons why someone should not be afraid to invest in Myresclub. Now, you got to remember, I come from a 30-year pedigree background in the network marketing space, in the direct sales space. I've never owned real estate. I have, I just never have. So when I sat down with Craig and he told me about Alfie, if you don't know about Alfie, he's our billionaire capital partner. He has $50 million, a $50 million pledge on our books. He backs all the investments that we make. And so he's a big part of what we're doing. But so that was like one thing, right? But then when Craig not begged me, he just said, hey, listen, do the due diligence. And I was like, man, I don't know if I've been in business with too many people over the course of the last 30 years that have said that. Like, that some people that may want you to do it, but they're, you see what I'm saying? Like he was just so forthright about it. Like, go check out what we've done. Go check out what we've built. Go see what we have registered. Go see how compliant we are. Look at your subscription agreement. And so I did. And everything that Craig had said that day, everything Craig has said to date has always come through ahead of schedule. He's never once flinched, wavered. Sometimes when, you start a conversation or relationship with someone 6-7 months into it, the flavors change. The statements change. The position of, especially as we gain strength and we're raising millions and millions of dollars and we're bringing in tens of thousands of people into our company, people's attitudes change. Their direction, maybe focus changes, not his. It's actually got more laser focused. And so when I asked him to send me the top 4 reasons really quick why someone should not be afraid to invest in Myresclub, this is what he sent back. The investments are backed by real estate. So we're not dealing with some type of like pie in the sky. It's the hardest asset that you can have. It's real estate. right? And so when we own the dirt, we own the deal, right? And so that's what he means. Investments are backed by real estate. The investment is a Reg D 506C with full disclosures and binding subscription agreement. So when you say full disclosures and subscription agreement, what Craig's talking about is our subscription agreement. Sorry, guys, I got a little dog problem in the background. So when you talk about what that means, so the subscription agreement has full disclosures, and it's a binding subscription agreement, and it's an investment in the short term with only a 12-month hold. So what I want you to understand is that everything that I'm talking about, everything that you need to do the due diligence, to send this to an attorney, all you have to do is go into one of the offerings on invest.rescub.com. Pull down one of the offerings, click on it. There'll be a subscription agreement for that's customized for each offering, and that subscription agreement contains all of it. It's literally the holy grail. It's the Bible of the deal. And so send that to an attorney, send that to your financial advisor, send that to your business partner, send that to whoever you need to do to get to get the feel good or the green light to move forward, because it has everything there. There's no gray area. But this document also, it tells you that there is risk, because any what's called a PPM, private placement memorandum, if you read a traditional PPM, which ours is, this is not just the language that we use for Rescub. This is standard industry language. There is risk, there's risk, there's risk, there's risk. Well, by the time you read this PPM, you're like, man, I don't want to do this because there's a lot of risk. But that's called full disclosure. And so what we've done though is taken that out, because we have Alfie back in the play. We have the ability to only to have what's called right of substitution. Right of substitution is very, very. I think it's one of the most important things we have. Not everybody has. Not every company has it. Why? Because not many companies have multiple offerings like we do. We're talking to Craig today. He wants to have over 25 offerings by the end of this year, and we're cranking them up. We got some things coming that you're going to see on the 4th that are going to blow you away. Myresclub Resorts, Myresclub Residencies, our own hotel chain. I mean, it's going to blow you away. And so when you talk about, what we're doing here, it's amazing. So the full disclosure and binding it in the subscription agreement. And so you're going to see the right of substitution means this. Let's just say you're into, so I'm in Pacifico. I have partners in Pacifico. Right now I'm involved with four units that I have ownership in and partnership with. But let's just say in the next month and a half that things aren't going well. It's not moving the way it wants to, and I want to move my money into another greater or equal deal, or equal or greater deal. I have the right to substitute. I have the right to take my money and put it in from one thing to another. And it's got to be the $50,000 called an aggregation. You have to have $50,000 or more into the. I think I'm stating that right. I'm double check on that. But the right of substitution that you can move your money around to an equal or greater deal, and so that's a big thing, because if it's not going the way you want, or you want to move something in, because you want to take your money out of one deal and put it into another and top it up and become an owner in another deal, you can do that. So again, I'm going to get some clarity on that, because I just created a gray area in my mind as far as if the number is 50,000. The 50,000 on the aggregate part is definitely there. It's 50,000 to move money from deal to deal. The right of substitution is I'll get clarity on that. And a lot of our investments are short term with a 12-month hold. And so when you look at our deals, we're not asking you to tie up your money for 3 to 5 years like traditional investments are, right? And a lot of banks and a lot of investments that you make, they want you to tie that money out, because they don't want you to touch it, because they want to have access to that money and use of funds for a long, long time. And so here you get your return, you get paid every 3 months, right? You get your dividend checks, and at the end of the 12th month, you get whatever dollar you put into the investment. I always use, the number I use, $10,000 on our invest to earn product, which is $10,000 into an 18% return, pays you $1,800 over the course of a year. So you're making $1,800. You can spend, that's $1,800 that you're guaranteed that you're getting. Doesn't make a difference on market volatility. Market goes up, still 18%. Market crashes, still 18%. You go to bed at 18%, you wake up at 18%. And that's for the length of and duration of your agreement, which is really cool. And in today's world, the stock markets, crypto, Forex, you never know what's going to happen when you go to sleep, right? And so the investment portion is another thing that Craig wrote. An investment portion is only 20% of the total development cost of the project. So we raised the 20% through us here, through our sales force. Alfie and Craig put up the other 10%. That equals 30%, and then the banks put up, anywhere from 70% or 80% financing, depending on the deal. Again, this is not something that Craig or Alfie has invented. This model is we call it the capital stack. It's been out there for years and years and years, and we just tweaked it a different way where we can pay out the high yield interest payments, the return on investments up to 18%, and the 5% referral fee to us. And so it's really an amazing thing how we've done this. And so, you look at we have 49 people on the call tonight. We have over 300 and getting close to 350 people registered for the event. We'll have over 400. We put in 11,000 referral affiliates in the month of January with a special that was just out of this world. But now we're growing at anywhere from 67 to 103 out through a day. Customer acquisition, people using the travel, is going through the roof. That is an all-time high. The new addition of our travel concierge program has certainly helped that. And so why I bring those numbers up is because, this is proof. This is what people are doing. These are the people that were afraid to invest in the beginning, that were apprehensive to invest in the beginning, but they did what most people do. Well, you know what, Adina, I'm going to let you go first and see if you get burnt. They don't say, Courtney, I'm going to see if you're successful. They're saying, Peter, they don't say, I can't wait to see you make money. They want to see you fail. Like, they want to see you fail. And if you don't fail, guess what? Then they're in, right? So, we think everyone's positive, and they say, well, they should say, Peter, as soon as I see that you're successful, I'm in. But what they're saying is they don't believe it. And so, it's great. And some of my best phone calls have been with people that were like, nope, I'm not doing it. The wife doesn't want to do it. And then all of a sudden the wife turns around, or the husband turns, whatever the scenario is. And the naysayers, because there's not a thing that you can bring up. And this is something where you need to be like, King Kong and bulletproof, right? Where you can be like, there's nothing that anyone can bring up that Craig hasn't addressed, or that we don't have representation in the subscription agreement and the letter from Alfie backing the deal. And it goes literally down the list. And so I love, early on when Craig got on some phone calls, we had an open mic couple sessions, and one guy was on the phone, guy Mike from out in California, mortgage guy, hammered Craig with like 3 questions right off the bat. And I was like, whoa, and remember, this is like, I hadn't seen Craig in action yet in front of a crowd. I certainly hadn't seen him tested like this. And this guy came at Craig like a bull in the china shop. And I was like, I had my finger on the mute button, maybe the delete button, maybe the off button. I was like, because my behavior from being around other owners over the last 30 years, I was like, whoa, man, I don't know where this is going, right? Craig didn't flinch. He didn't bat an eye. He didn't take a breath. He just went bap, bap, bap down the list, answered this gentleman's question, told him where to go. We even have our SEC filing that's around that we have. I mean, it's just like I said, go back to what I said in the beginning. Do the due diligence, especially if you're here for the first time. It's a company that you can be loud and proud about, and know that we have spent the money on the accountants, on the lawyers, on the registrations, on everything to be compliant as any company that has ever been, certainly that I've ever dealt with in my career. Especially married to the network marketing company. And it's something that I'm extremely proud to be a part of. And we get stronger every day. And as our investor group grows, which you're growing every day, and the first dividend checks are getting paid out to some of you who participated in last quarter's funding, and some of you that got into some of the deals that were going on, that were going on this month. And today's like the last day. I can accept Pacifico Investments or El Castillo that you can get a March dividend check. I mean, today is like tomorrow is you put the subscription in today, you just got to fund it tomorrow. And so, it's a pretty unique situation to be in. I'm going to say it's a position of power that we're in, but I want to say it right. I want to say we're in a position of humble power, or we're humbled to be in this position of power. And the word power is not to be misconstrued from the standpoint of egotistical, but the power that we've done the work, the power that the strength that we built our company on, which is on the right, is done right. There's no gray area. And so as I thought about the topic tonight, why wouldn't someone invest besides that they didn't have the money? And it came down to my head that it was that they were afraid. And so, I have my own personal money into it. I have my family's personal money into it. I have my friends. I have, I've been on most of the calls helping you guys make decisions on getting into investments. And it's something that I'm extremely proud of and passionate about. That if you have money lying around that's not making you money, it's costing you money. You need to step up, and you need to take a little bite out of the apple. And early on, Craig, and he talks about in his book that his father taught him to, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And so you just got to do something, make an investment that's comfortable for you, whether it's a minimum of $500 or it's something bigger, whatever you can afford. But you need to take the training wheels off. You need to step up to the plate if you're with our company, especially if you're making money on the direct sales side and you're getting paid daily, you're getting paid weekly. And everyone always asks me, what's the sweet spot in this compensation plan? Like, what's the sweet spot? Well, sweet spot is referral fees. When you bring people in that invest into Myresclub, we're going to pay you a 5% referral fee paid weekly. I mean, that's a big number. So if you think about the almost $5 million we've raised, we paid out what? $250,000 to each and every one of you, spread across the board, right? Whoever got what they, and there are some people in here that have brought in $250,000, $300,000 investors, $400,000 investors. And so, that's the sweet spot, because it doesn't just end on that one referral, because that referral that you sent in, as their positions grow, and especially with the new things coming out under the umbrella of 8, you're going to see where that 5% is going to mean a lot of money, because as their investments grow and more of the new money starts to generate as a result of their return on their investments, that 5% follows you. You follow that 5%, I should say. And it's also something that we pay weekly, like I just said. So a lot of things that I gave you to think about tonight. And I'm going to open up any questions. Anyone have any questions, any thoughts they want to share? Anything about anything that's going on with the company? I also put in the email tonight about the deals and steals that are going on. El Castillo we're looking for 4 more people that want to participate in the ownership piece at 10,000. And then Pacifico, if you get involved with Pacifico, I can get you your March dividend payment, your first dividend payment in March. Let's go to the iPhone. You're on the air. iPhone, you have your hand up.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So I know these are more short-term investments, but I was wondering if you continue to keep reinvesting into different properties, could this be something that kind of compounds over time, or is it just more short-term?
Yeah. So great question. Thank you. What's your name?
Precious.
I'm sorry. What is it?
Precious.
Hey, Precious. Yeah, so we have 12-month investments, we have 24-month investments, and then we have what's called we have a compounding effect program that's going to be talked about it in Orlando. So you'll be able to do that. We have some franchise opportunities coming in under the umbrella of A&W. We have so the A&W franchise, that model is going to be rolled out. We have Myresclub Island, which is going to be rolled out hopefully at the end of this week. That offering will be up. Best Wealth Investments under Alfie's new Best Wealth Investments in the United States comes out. But the long answer to your short question is yes, we have programs that you'll be able to take your interest payments and reinvest in that. We have that now. It's just not on a compounding effect. So if you got your, let's just say, in March, you get your first dividend check of $500, right? And that's just pure profit. Some people would take that 500 and pop it into an investment that's a minimum of 500. So you're always having your capital working. I know that and not that we put his laundry out there, but Chief, his dividend check this coming March is going to be over $10,000. I mean, come on, that's a dividend check. I mean, that's amazing. And so he has ownership, he has shares, he has equity. I mean, he has equity. It's mind-boggling. Mine's going to be around $10,000 too, because of what I've been able to do, and I've been able to get. One of the things I think that is the coolest thing about what we're doing is that I can't take credit for this, because Fred Prather, the chief, he came to me with the idea. He said, hey, I want to get 9 people to go in with me. He owns one of the lots already in El Castillo. He put up 100, he and his wife. He said, I want to get 9 other people to come in with me, and I'll form a super PAC. And I was like, wow, see, that's great, because you can't do that at your bank. You know, you can, hey, Peter Duke online. Hey, Joe. Hey, Beverly. Hey, listen, this guy wants to see if you want to put up 10. You look at the guy like they're nuts, right? But here, because we all know each other, and me being the conduit, I can, you guys call me, and I appreciate you trust me that you call me and we talk about your situation, and that's you can only do this is what you want to do, and then if you can't get into the bigger investments, then you get into something small. But the key is to start. And I've said this before on a call, like, bad things happen, right? When bad things happen, it seems like it takes a long time for them for you to get out of that funk, right? But time passes, so time passes on negative stuff, and time flies by on good stuff, right? So if you put that $500 in, all of a sudden in 3 months you get a little, maybe it's a $45 dividend check, whatever you're in at. And then all of a sudden, in 6 months later, you got more money into it. And all of a sudden, 3 years from now, you got a nice little nest egg that you've built up. That's, maybe it's $25,000, $30,000, $50,000. And so the key is you have to start. You have to start. So thank you for that question. Let's go to Aisha Catalana. Hi, Aisha.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, PJ.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day to all of you. I have a question regarding and structuring. You had mentioned the override that is received when you bring someone else into the project. We get a percentage of what they invest. So my question is regarding sponsor placing. For example, if I bring someone into the company, they're attached to me. If I have individuals on my team who are not builders or recruiters, but if I want to get to like G1 or what have you, there needs to be a certain number of individuals spread out over separate legs. So the only option as it stands now is to have those individuals sign up with, whichever leg or position in your business you would want them to go in. But is there a way to have those individuals still coded to the recruiter?
What you're asking me 2 different questions in the same question. You're asking me for a sponsor placement feature, which we can do. But the sponsor placement feature, that if I was to sponsor Joe, big gulp, and put him underneath you to help you qualify and rank up, but Joe made an investment into Myresclub, that I would still get the investment, the referral fee on Joe, correct? Aisha?
Yes, I got muted again. I'm sorry. Yes, that's correct.
Right. So the answer is yes. I can actually. That's something I think I can do pretty quickly. That's a great idea. I'm taking notes. Yeah, that's a great idea. It's a great idea. Aisha, I gotta tell you, you gotta update your picture on your Zoom box, because with your long hair, it's completely different. When you did that call the other night, the travel call, I was like, what? Because I never really saw you before until I saw you, and I was like, that's not Aisha. And then now I've looked at the picture now. You haven't updated your picture yet, because your daughters like you with the long hair too. So that's where we're going with. Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
They won't let me cut it again.
No, I can see why. Yeah, they love you like that. It's great. All right, sponsor placement feature with the sponsor feature on the referral fee. Great idea. I will work on that tomorrow. That's something I can get done quickly with the software company. Any other questions? Thanks, Aisha, for that. All right, any other questions before we wrap up the call? We're 30 minutes into it. I started with Orlando. Again, I want to reiterate, there'll be information going out tonight on Tashana's call tomorrow at 6 a.m. It better not just be me and her, because I'm getting up at 4:30. I changed my schedule to start training at 4:30 in the morning. And, I'll tell you a quick story, and I'll let you go. Not even a story. Ran into a friend of mine who I haven't seen in a long time. His name is Josh. He used to live here. Now he lives up in Jacksonville. He was down visiting his daughter. Ran into a parking lot at one of our favorite places, a place called First Watch. And he's in really great shape. And he's like, man, you're in great shape. I'm like, yeah, thanks. He goes, you know what? Motivation is so overrated. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, motivation is not what gets you in the gym at 4:30. That's discipline. And I was like, Yeah, you know what? He goes, yeah, motivation burns out. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline doesn't. And so now I'm like sitting there and I wake up at 5 o'clock. And so now I'm like, he got me all jacked up. I was all excited. I'm like, yeah, you know what? 4:30 is. So now I'm up at 4:30 every morning and he's up. Now I got this accountability partner out of nowhere. So I say this, 6 a.m. tomorrow, we're going to be at the Shauna's call. And Adina, I know you'll be awake, Dina Hodge. And so that information will go out to tonight. Also, we have a big meeting in Cleveland, Ohio, Wednesday and Friday. If anyone needs help there, go to the social media. It's up there. Malcolm Alexander, Dr. Alexander will be there. We're starting to grow. We're starting to grow. And I will tell you, please, it's very rare you see me beg and plead. And I only beg and plead for you and your family. Get to Orlando. Come see us. Come meet us. Come hug us. Let's do some selfies. Let's party. Let's cry. Let's hug each other. Let's have this, like the best event that's ever been had. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of great things that you're going to see and hear about. And I'm going to keep just pounding it home. My job is to make sure that you understand what you have here at Myresclub and Resclub. And so I hope tonight it opened up a few eyes. It softened a couple of people on their positions of being afraid to invest. You know, there's a saying, jump and the net will appear. We got you. You're covered on all grounds. If you do the due diligence, you'll understand exactly how safe your investment is with us here at Resclub. So thank you so much. For Craig Williamson, this is PJ Peter Jensen saying good night and happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks, everyone. Good night.